Today we're going to be reacting to a video uploaded about 24 hours ago now called How Do People Not Know This About Pop Music? It had Sabrina Carpenter in the thumbnail, and I'm curious about what they have to say. I'll probably have to cut up the original video a little bit just due to copyright music, so the original video I am reacting to today will be down in the description, so please, I highly recommend going to check it out for yourself. With that being said, let's get started. The beginning of the video starts off with someone reacting to Sabrina Carpenter's new song, Manchild. Goes stupid, or is it slow? Maybe it's useless. But there's a cuter word for it. I know.
They are talking about them as if Sabrina Carpenter wrote these lyrics herself. Now, maybe Sabrina Carpenter wrote one line or changed a couple words or something. If you look at the songwriters on this, the songwriters are Amy Allen and Jack Antonoff. If you don't know those names, because many of you may not know those names, let's take a look at some of the other songs they've written. Let's begin with Amy Allen. As you can see here, the top song is the song Espresso. That was a massive hit. It's got 2.3 billion plays. Here's some other songs that Amy Allen was a writer or co-writer of: Without Me, Halsey, Adore You, Harry Styles, Greedy, Tate McRae, and so on and so forth. As I go down the list, you will recognize a lot of these songs if you know anything about pop songs. Just look at how many songs have a billion plays on here. Now next, let's look at Jack Antonoff, the other writer. Top song, Cruel Summer, Taylor Swift, 2.9 billion. And then there's another Taylor Swift, another Taylor Swift, another Taylor Swift. Then there's Please, 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 Sabrina Carpenter from the last record. Kendrick Lamar, Taylor Swift and Post Malone, Taylor Swift, Lana Del Rey, and it just goes on and on and on. Many massive hits, many songs over a billion plays. These are professional songwriters.
Now, I kind of considered personally that songwriters or artists as big as Sabrina were not entirely responsible for their music. I do really appreciate artists who do write their own lyrics and songs and stuff, but typically you'll find a lot of this within the industry.
When an artist like Sabrina Carpenter is doing a new record, after having a massive record that she did whenever it was last year, she's presented hundreds of songs to choose from, or she will go in and write with people that she had hits with from the last record, which she did. Amy Allen was one of the writers, and so was Jack Antonoff. And they will write new songs for this thing. Yeah, she might be in the room for some of this stuff, but the fact of the matter is these same people are all over multiple hit songs. Now, was Amy Allen a songwriter in her own right? Yes, she was. As a matter of fact, this is her Spotify page. You should check it out. And Jack Antonoff also was in bands called Bleachers and Fun. But they didn't have massive careers like Sabrina Carpenter or like a lot of the people that they're writing songs for, like Taylor Swift or Tate McRae or whoever. These people are part of the professional songwriter group of people that are out there that write a majority of the big hit songs out today.
Now, I'm just curious, and this really won't be answered unless I ask him myself or if they've answered this in interviews, whether these professional songwriters would like a career such as Sabrina Carpenter or Miley Cyrus, Taylor Swift, or if they kind of prefer just enjoying what they do behind the scenes, creating big hits. Also, I know that artists will sort of pass down songs. So let's say I'm a songwriter and I create a song and I have an artist in mind that I would like to perform my song, and whether their management team would say yes, our artist will do this, or no they don't, or no they won't, and pass the song to another artist.
Now, in addition to the songwriting team, you have the management team. Sabrina Carpenter is managed by Red Light Management. You might say, who's Red Light Management?
Red Light has since developed into the largest independent music management company in the world, managing over 350 artists. Additionally, Red Light has partnered with many businesses nationally and locally, including Sun Tribe Solar and Sun Tribe Development. Torrin Capshaw founded Red Light Management in 1991 in Charlottesville, Virginia, while helping Dave Matthews Band grow organically from a local club favorite to one of the most renowned touring groups of all time. Red Light has since developed into the largest independent music management company in the world.
When an artist like Sabrina Carpenter is doing a new record, they have their pick of the top songs from the biggest songwriters out there. They find all the songs, what are going to be the singles, they go in and record them, and they produce them. She's not playing anything on these records. These things are created by the producers. And then they figure out what the image is going to be for the video, for the record. And this stuff is all put together. And when I see people make videos on YouTube where they're talking about her lyrics, what this man-child thing means, it's like, it doesn't mean anything. Every bit of this video has been meticulously crafted. They do storyboards, they do all this kind of stuff. They figure out what kind of outfits, what the vibe's going to be. The same thing with the album cover art. All of it is a completely calculated thing. She's a pop star. This is a thing that I guess a lot of people don't realize, that this stuff is figured out by massive groups of people. These are not songs that are coming from Sabrina Carpenter's head. I bet she doesn't play one note on any of her records. Now, I know that she plays guitar and piano and everything. I've seen her. You can see videos of her doing that. You think she's playing anything on here?
Sorry, a little bit of copyright music. I do think there absolutely is truth where there is almost just like a handful of writers, a handful of producers that are all trying to basically race to find the biggest song. A lot of this is meticulously crafted. There is so much behind the scenes that goes into planning shows. This artist is not putting it all together. Sabrina is gorgeous. Just because we're using her as an example in today's video, there are many like her, but just specifically talking about her, she has the aesthetic with the show. She also did this, it's a brilliant marketing tactic. I don't think, maybe she had a say in it, or maybe it was her idea, but bringing it to life where she changed the color of her corset during every show, so it was kind of like people anticipated or wanted to go to the show to see the color reveal first. So there's a lot of marketing behind the scenes of every show.
Things are just all programmed, and she sings over. They bring her in, she sings over it, she reads over the lyrics. She might say, I wouldn't say that, I would say this, and she gets her songwriting credit on there. The fact of the matter is that these songwriters need artists that are young, let's be honest about it, that are the vehicles for their songs. Amy Allen has many hit songs, and she wouldn't have all these hit songs if she wasn't one of the go-to people to write hit songs for these artists. She wouldn't have all these billion stream songs. She's a go-to writer, just like Max Martin, like Jack Antonoff, are known to be hit songwriters. And these are the people that make pop music happen. So when people analyze the lyrics of the songs, it's ridiculous. They're not written by these people. They're no statement. The only person that's doing that out there that's a big star, really, that I can think of off the top of my head is Billie Eilish. She and her brother write the songs together. Not only do they write them, but he plays all the parts.
That's what I really love about artists like Billie. It's completely original. I feel like when a lot of these pop artists start using the same producers, the same songwriters, everything kind of starts sounding the same. I can't tell you how many songs I started that just started playing on the radio and I thought it would be one song and ended up being a totally different song. Everything seems very manufactured.
One of the very few people. I mean, how many times have I made videos and shown the 15 songwriters? I mean, even bands like Coldplay that used to write their own songs, they got 15 songwriters on every song. That's just the way pop music is done. It doesn't matter if it's hip hop, if it's pop, if it's rock. So when you start talking about songs, you make videos where you're analyzing the lyrics, or if you see things where people are analyzing the lyrics as if Sabrina Carpenter actually wrote them herself, that's ridiculous because she's not involved in that stuff. I may be wrong. Maybe she wrote all those lyrics. But if she wrote all those lyrics, why isn't she out there writing hit songs for other people? If you go down Amy Allen's list of songs, you see the song Greedy by Tate McRae. Tate McRae does write some of her own songs. But one of the co-writers on that is Ryan Tedder, who's another professional songwriter. You may recognize his name because he's the singer of One Republic.
He does have a great point as well about songwriters not writing for other artists, because I would imagine, again, all of this is allegation, speculation, and opinion, by the way, especially if you write a song and let's say you prefer like a male vocalist to sing this particular song. Well, as a woman, Obviously I'm gonna have to find an artist who wants and will produce a song for me. So he does have a really good point about her not writing songs for other artists. I think that would be a pretty good indicator for future reference. I wonder if Billie and her brother Phineas write song for other artists.
If you go down Amy Allen's list of songs, you see the song Greedy by Tate McRae. Tate McRae does write some of her own songs. But one of the co-writers on that is Ryan Tedder, who's another professional songwriter. You may recognize his name because he's the singer of One Republic. And if you go to the songs that he's co-written, because he co-writes for everybody. You see the first song is Counting Stars, just hit 3 billion streams. You see Maroon 5 on here, Tate McRae, Beyonce, Jonas Brothers, Ed Sheeran, Miley Cyrus, Lil Nas X. He has so many big songs, so many songs that are over 1 billion plays too.
Sorry, I was surprised for a second, but then not really.
He's another professional songwriter that writes for so many artists. And this is how the music business works. If there's anything I can add to the conversation, it's that there are people behind the scenes that are really doing the heavy lifting. The songwriters, in order to get cuts on records, have to give up some of their songwriting credit to these artists in almost every case. You'll see the artist credited even if they had nothing to do with it. This has been going on since the beginning of the music business. In order to get your song cut by a huge star, you have to give them a piece of the song, even if they wrote nothing. And it's really terrible. Especially when there's so little money in the business these days as compared to 25 years ago even, that these people still have to give up part of their creative work in order to just get a song recorded on a big record.
That even goes for the industry that I was in with modeling. I would be basically, I was signed to an agency and they would send me auditions, but they would still get compensated for any project that I did get. They got a percentage, and that was because they were able to supply me with job offers, offers I wouldn't have been able to get without them. So I do understand that it's a business, and if you do want to use their resources in order to reach a large audience, then yeah, unfortunately it's going to cost. But even when you're discovered, if you sign with a publishing company, they're always going to have their hand in some sort of percentage, and they do typically prey on younger and more naive, immature artists. Let's take a look at a couple of the comments and see what you guys have to say. Chandler TC says it sounds like modern pop music is a lot like modern food, highly processed, overly sweet, and devoid of nutrition. I couldn't have said it better myself. This comment made me laugh. They had a similar opinion to something I said earlier by McCloy Song. A few writers writing for everyone, a few producers producing everyone, mixed and mastered by the same people, starts to feel like McMusic. Someone even responded saying that's a perfect analogy, produced from mass consumption without much consideration for nutritional value. And that is something to consider. You'll see kind of little sub fan groups, and they will go, oh my God. Every single artist kind of has their little clique of fans, right? And you'll see them go at each other's throats, arguing about song lyrics and the meaning behind things, and it's the artist may not even have written it in the first place. So for people to be so invested in dissecting the lyrics, maybe these couple of videos will help you realize that it really is just for mass consumption, and at the end of the day, it's a business. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. Also, if you don't want to miss any new videos, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next one.